Good morning. What a beautiful day it is today. I'm a little bit out of breath because I've just walked up that hill, and this pathway that I'm on is one of the oldest pathways in Europe. It's called the Ridgeway, and I'm in a landscape that's dotted with monuments and myth. So let's have a look around and see what we see, shall we? So that is where we are. National Trust, White Horse Hill. I think it's in Oxfordshire, Berkshire, Wiltshire, but it's here and it is beautiful. I love it up here. So this is a hill fort. This is one of the finest hill forts in my humble opinion. When you look at it from the air, it is just something else, but when we actually get down into it, just up here, you will see how much of it really still remains. Well, it's all still here, really. It's still a very, very popular place for people to come with their families and pets and things. But look at this. So this is, I think it's known as Uffington Castle. But look at these ditches. Look at this. Look at the ditch in the bank. You actually get down into it here. And you imagine back in the day, back in the Iron Age when this was built, this was all dug out with picks made from deer antler and just hard work. But this is massive amount of earthworks, and then it was defending or keeping its eye on this place. This is the actual hill fort up here, look. So there have been excavations done out here, archaeological excavations, and I think they've found post holes which would probably point to Iron Age dwellings. There are also 3 distinct phases of the work being done here. Apparently it was early Iron Age, there was just box ramparts, and then into the middle late Iron Age, before the Romans turned up, into this huge great big thing that we can see around us here now. And then the Romano-Britic people, the Romans and the British, they did some other work up here as well. And yeah, I mean, it's absolutely stunning up here, and you can see when I get to the ramparts, we'll walk around those in a minute, but the views in every direction. And this is when on my other videos, when I talk about not having any trees on these things, this is exactly what I mean. This is how this, I mean, whether this, you know, oh yeah, you would grow trees up here, wouldn't you? We're not very high up, are we? But the views are just something else. Granted, so much of it is changed now. You know, the landscape's changing beyond any recognition of what our Iron Age ancestors would have understood. We've got windmills out there and big field systems that they never had. But it's so peaceful as well. I'll show up. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? So this is known as the Vale of the White Horse down here, and this is Swindon down here, I believe. Some other bits and pieces there. Yeah, but Swindon's definitely further down, then on to Bristol. But this, as you can see, if you look along the horizon, this is the Ridgeway, this is the ridge. It cuts up through here from Ivinghoe down to wherever it goes to. But yeah, I'm going to walk into the sun because I want to go and look at the trig point. But yeah, so this in itself is worth the journey I set off at about 5:30 this morning to try and get here just as the sun rose, but I was a little bit too late. The sun's getting up before me now. But this on its own is worth the journey. But this landscape is steeped in traditions and stories that go back much, much earlier than the Iron Age, way back into Stone Age. But anyway, we'll get to that when we get to that. I'm trying to get to that, but I've got to go back down again. Okay. I mean, this is the thing. You look at the, for me just to get across there is a heck of a thing. You imagine this being a defended place, and when you're here, I mean, this now, look at the views all the way around. I'm above everything else. What a place. Absolutely stunning. Right, I'm going to go and get to that. Now, I think that this is the highest point in Oxfordshire, but it might have also been in the Royal County of Berkshire. Berkshire is a ceremonial county rather than an actual county. But this is one of the trig points. And if you remember on the Hunsbury Hill video, there's a trig point right on the side of that as well. So, trig points set by the Ordnance Survey to actually map out the country. It'll have a trig point address on it there, look. Ordnance Survey. This monument forms part of the Ordnance Survey GPS network. Oh, right, okay. It defends to damage. And then down here, there are people that actually go out walking to all of these. They're usually on high places and, places with a bit of a view like this. I mean, this is stunning up here. Absolutely stunning. This is the best way to spend a Sunday in my eyes. And granted, the weather's not been too good recently, has it? Over winter, but it's the 2nd of March today and it's absolutely stunning. Not a cloud in the sky. Even the little planes aren't putting too much out, so that's good. Anyway, I'm going to walk over to something that's even more famous now. You might have heard of Uffington Castle, but the next thing is even more famous. Somewhere around here is a horse, but it's not just a horse, it's the oldest Neolithic chalk horse in the country. About 1300 BC, I think they say. I might be wrong, I have done some reading, but I don't remember everything when I come out. I think it's just here. I've been here before, and yeah, I would highly recommend you come here too, because it is something else. Right, here we are. Right, so you can't see it from here. I've already taken the drone up earlier on, because that is how you get a clearer picture of it. But this here, right there, is the chalk horse. There is a little bit of string there, asking people not to cross. I'll see if I can get a little bit closer, but what a view, eh? There you go. So, from the air it looks like it's very flat, but when you come down here, you can see how it's across all this different landscape. It's almost like the ancient artists or designers of this were using the landscape to their advantage to, I suppose they were probably sort of saying, we are here, because look at the views over there. Sort of, we are the horse people, and we are here. This is our place. Yeah, like I say, there is a bit of rope, so I'm not going to go. You get a better view with it with the drone. I might send the drone up a little bit closer because I actually set it up from the other side of the hill earlier on. But yeah, this, I know you can't see much. I'll go up and back around again. You can't see much of this, but this is the White Horse of Uffington. You see the way it's carved out, and they come out, I think, every 7 years and redress it, because obviously you can see that nature wants to take everything back, doesn't it? That's what nature does. Yeah, I'll just hop over here and we'll have a little look. I'm not going to touch it. But There we go. So this is the eye of the horse here. And you'll see from the drone footage, that is the eye of the horse. This is its head. And it's very sort of modern in the way it looks. And then down here into the flowing body. Look at this. Actually crossing over the body here. There you go. We're actually in the horse now. Look at this. It's much, much bigger than you'd think. Obviously I'm being careful not to, because this gets redressed. I'm being careful not to move anything. Yeah, look at this. So this is redressed every 7 years, I believe. And you can see the difference now, but it's been here for, 2,500 years or something like that. Maybe not that long, but it's been here for a while. And like I say, from here, you can't really see it. You can see it across the valley down there, but even then, you can only really see it in the evening when the sun comes round. The sun's obviously right behind us at the moment, but the sun ends up over there and it shines on this, and it really does shine. But yeah, I mean, it's huge. You don't realise actually how big this thing is until you're walking amongst it. There you go. I'm nearly at the end of it now. And there it is. Some people say that it was a dragon. And down here, you see that hill there? I can't see what you can see, it's so blooming bright. But this hill here is called Dragon Hill. And that is, in legend, is where St. George killed the dragon. And as he was killing it on that hill, it bled, which is why nothing grows up there. Let's go and have a look. Maybe we'll get a view of the horse from Dragon Hill, from the other side. That might be, I've never done that before. Last time I came here, I think, I was with Ben, and there was some really big cows here. But what a landscape. I mean, it's so steep as well. I'm going to have fun getting back up. I've parked way over there. But yeah, what a landscape. So the horse was here before the hill fort. Now obviously there would have been people up here, but they would not necessarily have been building hill forts. That was an Iron Age, late Bronze Age, early Iron Age thing. So, but I'm pretty sure that the horse is a Bronze Age thing. Look at the views. Such a surreal landscape, really. You can understand why your ancestors, our ancestors, all of our ancestors, would find places like this enchanting. I mean, I'm enchanted. And I'm a modern human with all the, stuff at my disposal, like LiDAR and GPS and mapping and all that kind of thing. It would have been almost inconceivable. I mean, I can't for the life of me work out why you would have cut that great big chalk figure, and who was actually doing the, was the architect of it, because surely from down here you can't see it. It's only really, ooh, careful, this is a bit tricky. It's only really when you're up in the air that you get to see it. Maybe it was to ward off the dragons. Maybe the people were saying that there are dragons here. I don't know. So there we go. That is the bottom of the White Horse Hill. Oh. And then over onto St. George, what's it called? Dragon Hill. So this is a natural hill, but the top has been purposefully flattened. At least that's what I'm led to believe by the reading that I've done. And this is where, according to legend, one of the 2 places in the UK that is attributed to St George slaying the dragon. I don't really know what that story's about, but St George slayed a dragon, didn't he? We don't slay anymore, do we? There's not enough slaying going on. So, yeah. Imagine being up here, the mythical dragon, St George with his... He's always depicted with his armour on, isn't he? Always depicted with armour on. Up here fighting the dragon. Oh, you can just about see the horse as well. I don't know if you can see that behind me. I've got to put my sunglasses on because I can't see anything. But this is the spot, is it? Where the dragon's blood has stopped anything from growing. Wow. So there you go. And then, like I say, I don't know if you'll see it on the hillside there. Let me just see if I can zoom in. So from here, you can just about see the horse, but you still can't see it all. I don't know if that shows up on the camera very well, because obviously I'm looking back into the sunlight. So, but what a place. Either way. So now I'm stood on the hill where St George killed the dragon. Wow. What a place. So much history in one place. I mean, I think the St George story is a lot newer, isn't it, than... It's probably early Christian, isn't it? So that's late Roman. And then obviously the hill fort itself is Iron Age, and then the horse there, it's Bronze Age. So much history. But you can see why. Look at the landscape. It is something else. Absolutely something else. But there's somewhere else I'm going to go, which is right over the other side of the hill. I'm going to go back up and over, which is even more ancient. Truly ancient. Truly ancient. But yeah, I'm going to do a little video for Facebook and then I'll set off. If you were an Iron Age person back in the day, you wouldn't have wanted to attack this hill fort at this time of the day. All right, here, look. It does say there. Ancient white horse is being damaged by visitors' feet. Please help to protect it by not going beyond that point. Which is fair enough, which is why I was very careful. I was very careful. So, lots and lots of people obviously come up here. But yeah, what I was saying is, if you were an Iron Age tribe from down here, living out here, and you saw the hill and you thought, ooh, I like that hill. Ooh, I like me a bit of hill. You thought, I'll come up. You wouldn't come up at this time of the day because it's absolutely blinding. I can't see anything. Yeah. And to be fair, they'd go straight up the side, I suppose, wouldn't they? But yeah, you imagine them down there. Down here, this would all be swamped. Now, it's all ditched and culverted and rivers altered course and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, this would all have been swamped. So somewhere like this would have been... Oh, I can't see a thing. There you go. So something like this would have put you above the swamp, wouldn't it? You'd be top of the pile, wouldn't you? Now there's that sun again. Oh, never thought I'd be moaning about the sun. But yeah, up and up and up we go. But yeah. Ooh. Let's go to that hill. You can imagine them, can't you? Ooh, a hill. Like we do now. There's lots of people out walking, and they're only walking because there's an hill. Oh, it's hard work, this. Right, I've got a big long walk now, really, to go to where I'm going next. We'll have another quick look up here, and then we'll go to the next place. Yeah, steep old hill. Yeah, I'm well above the Dragon Mound now. And then the horse itself is just on that little ridge over there. We've seen enough of that now. I've got a drone. I've got some drone footage of it as well. Ooh. This is difficult. Hello, girls. Morning. Morning. Yeah, see you then. Bye. Mom. Hello. Don't suppose it's as difficult for them getting up and down the hills, is it? They do it slower than we do, though. They're in no rush, are they? Oh, you can actually see, I don't know if you can see out there, there's a very, the ridge and furrow field. I don't know if you can see that. But out in the middle of the picture here is a field that, because of the way the sun's hitting it, shows very clearly the old medieval ridge and furrow method of dealing with fields. But yeah, what a place. Right, I've got to continue up the hill. I think I'm nearly at the top of the hill. Oh, there's a seat there. Do like a seat. I was going to say do like a seat provided. Hey up. Oh, field fair or something just flew over. I'm going to go and sit on that seat. That seat with the bent, crooked tree. And I'm going to have a drink and a cigarette. I've turned the microphone off so you can actually hear what it's like up here. Woodpeckers, skylarks. Oh, it's just beautiful. I'm in awe. I love it up here. I love places like this. I really do. They connect me with my history. Something in my history. Yeah. Like generations of people like me before have come up here, sat on a bench like this or on the just on the side of the hill and gone, this is my hill. And for this brief moment, it is. Got my little tree for company. And this view. What a view it is. And like I said, I turned this microphone off, so you should be able to hear the birds in the background. And obviously my phone's messaging. But that's so beautiful. Skylarks, robins, blackbirds, and the woodpecker every now and then in the woodland there. Anyway, I could wax lyrical all day about some places like this. I'm going to continue back up to the hill fort. I'm going to look out for it. There are a chain of hill forts along here, and I'm going to see if I can see another one. But then, yeah. Anyway, I'm waffling again, aren't I? thing is, it's impressive. But when you think that men and women were doing this with just deer antlers to dig it with, you look at it from above and how big it is. And this isn't even a particularly big one. I mean, it's impressive, but it's not a massive one. Yeah, so another hill fort off the list. Now, this road that runs along here, this track, is a very, very famous road. It is the Ridgeway. It's called the Ridgeway. It joins up with the Icknield Way, and then it goes all the way down past Avebury, down towards Stonehenge and all that. And all the way along the Ridgeway are historic places like this, which kind of would make you think that the people whose names we don't know anymore, they've long since gone, were travelling between these places. And I've just seen on my OS maps that there's something over here in this woodland. So it is a public footpath, and I am going to have a look. And there might be another barrow over there. I say another barrow. I've sort of given away where I'm going next. I'm going down to, where am I going? Wayland Smithy. I was going to say West Kennet then, but I'm not there. But this landscape is, you know, it's been this way for thousands and thousands of years. It's only really the people that have changed around it, isn't it? Right. So, that was White Horse Hill, or Uffington Castle, or whatever you want to call it. Iron Age Hill Fort, then occupied by the Roman, the Brittonic Romans, and then probably abandoned, you know, just used for sheep and things now. But over here, I believe there is a barrow, and a barrow usually means a burial. So I'm going to go off in this direction. I'm pointing, you can't see. Off in this direction, following this bridleway. Following that bridleway, off in that direction to the clump of trees. I know I'm going to be heading over there later on, because that's where Wayland Smithy is, which we'll talk about when we get there. But apparently along here, about half a mile, are other things. So I'll see when we get there. So apparently this is the Lambourne Valley Way. It's very pretty. I'm not in a valley though, I'm on a ridge at the moment. But apparently it's 22 miles long. It goes from the hill, White Horse Hill behind us. You can see it well there, can't you now? And look at the views. Anyway, it goes from there all the way down to Newbury. So, yeah, little larks up. But yeah, Lambourne Valley Way, that's what I'm walking along. It's a bridle way, 22 miles long. I'm not walking all the way along because I'm going over there in a minute. But you can imagine all around these hills, there would have been other settlements. And we know that because there are other hill forts. I'll just pull up the LiDAR images from just a little bit further over here, I think it is. And there's just a sort of faint outline of what used to be a hill fort. And then I will have to have a look on my maps before I disappear for the day. But it's only 9 o'clock in the morning, so I've got all day. But down, I believe over here somewhere, there is another hill fort, but it's nothing like this because it's wooded. It might even be that area over there. I don't know. But because it's wooded and never really been excavated or anything, it's like some of the other hill forts that we've seen, but I'd still like to go and have a look at it. And yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about now, but yeah, beautiful, isn't it? So this is the Lambourne Valley Way. Apparently this area, according to my OS maps, is called the Gallops or something. You can see lots of horses come through here. But I mean, it's so unspoilt really, isn't it? I mean, it is completely spoilt. This is an agricultural landscape. This isn't a natural landscape, not by any stretch of the imagination, but it's as close as we've got in this country. To country, this is what we call the countryside, isn't it? I mean, this is monoculture, which is the way of the world, isn't it? That's what they want us all to be, a monoculture, don't they? Little bit political, I realise that, but we're all different and we should celebrate those differences instead of homogenising them all. Let's be different and then we can have differences. Anyway, yeah, what a beautiful view. What a beautiful walk. Right, down here, I'm hoping to find a barrow. Not a wheelbarrow, for you in the back. And this is why the OS maps on my phone, just give me a second. This is why the OS maps on the phone are such a good thing. Because I was able to, I mean literally I could just walk there, but I'm actually on the proper path. This says private, but this is the footpath. And so let me show you, if I can, what I actually see on my phone. So it literally is like I'm just taking photos of myself there, aren't I? But literally it is. There you go. And it's really, really useful. I would advise anybody who comes out for doing things like this to grab it. I think it cost me 35 quid for the year. And I've got the whole country mapped out with the Ordnance Survey. Anyway, I think there's a barrow up here, but we'll find out when we get there, won't we? Yep. There we go. So I'm a long way now from the hill fort over there. But apparently there are some barrows here. This is a bridleway. It would have been really, really nice to see a horse. I might still, because I've got to come back down here and go all the way back down there. But just to see a horse up here. Sort of, people have obviously been venerating horses up here for centuries, haven't they? Millennia. And it'd be nice to see one. But, okay. There is something in the middle of this field. Wow, this is deep leaf litter up here. All these beeches. Interesting. That's interesting. I mean, they may just have been in the middle of the field, I suppose, but... Right, footpath. Keep to the bridleway. And it's very clearly marked. But yeah, I think that this is what it says on the OS maps is a tumuli, or a barrow. There won't be a great deal that I can find out about it, I wouldn't imagine, because these things are everywhere. But a lot of them... Poot path. I'm just poot path only, not footpath. It's a poot path. Interesting. That's saying it's a footpath only. Okay. So yeah. So what I'm saying is, it could be a burial mound. There may have been archaeological work, but I thought I'd come and see it. I'm all the way out here, why not come and see what I can see? There's definitely something there, isn't there? A little bump on the horizon. Ooh, red kite in the tree over there. See him. Don't know if you can see him, but look at the hills behind. You can imagine, other hill forts up there, and there will be. I'd have to have a look at the maps and things. But this is the Lambourne Valley. Am I still zoomed in? I think I am. Difficult to tell up here. There's such a big empty sky, isn't it? Big open sky. But this is the Lambourne Valley Way, and I think this is a barrow, a tumuli, as they're known on Oh, this is the gallops. This is what this is for horse racing, isn't it? Yeah, you know, for training horses. I suppose is Newbury a famous horse place? I think it is, isn't it? But there you go. I've come all this way for this. This little barrow. And the thing is, it might not look like much, but I'll have a look on the LiDAR, because this is definitely a circular barrow of some description, isn't it? But this is maybe the final resting place of somebody from the Bronze Age, Iron Age, maybe even the Romans. Romans did things like this as well, you know. They were still, you know, pagans at heart. The Romans were, weren't they? They had all the pantheon of gods. So I've walked all this way to come and see this little mound, but it's a beautiful little mound. It's not as impressive as a hill, but it is a little mound. And this might be, you know, someone who lived here 3,000 years ago, might be their final resting place. It probably has. I'll have a look and see if I can find some archaeological reports about it. But yeah, there you go, a little barrow. No, nowhere near as impressive as the one we're going to go and see, but yeah, I've got all day to walk, so I came down here and had a walk. I'm going to sit for a minute. Look at this. And here's my little mound. Wow. Well, that was nice. He was very close, wasn't he? I did think he was going to peck my eyes out for a second then. I do like birds. They're properly free, aren't they? And the red kites are super, super free. There's another one over there, look. Because they're protected freedom. Their freedom is actually protected. Beautiful birds. Anyway, like I say, I'm going to have a sit and then we'll carry on down to Wayland Smithy. So apparently, this is actually what's known as a barrow cemetery. That's just on the top of the hill there. That little bump is the little mound that I was just sitting on. But look at this one. Look at this. It's much bigger. So this is a barrow. Not a great deal that I can find online about its age or anything like that, but it's definitely a mark on the landscape, isn't it? I don't know whether this has ever been excavated, but yeah, and you can see the other one just up there. I don't think there's any more. I mean, yeah, this field is what they call a gallops, which is obviously where they bring their horses out to exercise them. But I'm now standing on top of, I think it's called Hounslow, as in hound dog. So the Hounslow barrow. This is big as well. This is 15, 20 metres across. And this might be sacred ground for somebody. Yeah. That's the thing with this part of the world. There's so much of this historical landscape is everywhere, look. And when you get down to Avebury and places like that, which I will get down to, but it's a bit more of a trip down there, even further than this. I mean, it's not that much further than where I've come today, but yeah, there you go. That was worth a little detour. Well, quite a big detour, but yeah. If I do find any more information about it, I'll put it on screen now. But yeah, so this is Idlebush Barrow Cemetery. Wow, so this is the final resting place of somebody, I would imagine. What a nice place. I mean, it's beautiful. there you go. They show up a little bit on the LiDAR, not a lot, because LiDAR only picks, I mean, it's super accurate for the military, I would imagine, but for us mere mortals, it's not. But yeah, there you go, look at that. Oh, hello. Wow, that's beautiful. There's only me up here as well, me and him. And the little birds. Anyway, so there you go. I wasn't expecting to find this when I came out today, which is nice. That is the beauty of having the OS maps, because you can pinpoint things or look at things and go, oh, I wonder what that is. Granted, I've had to walk about a mile, but it keeps me fit and healthy, doesn't it? But it is beautiful. I mean, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Could be worse, couldn't it? And the beauty as well is, just over here, is there's a communications tower, which obviously is streaming to my phone when I need it to, you know. And I'm able to do a little bit of research and keep in touch with the OS maps and things. So as much as the modern world is a bit, it is very useful as well. Medic. Oh no, it's just grass, that is. I thought it was a dead sheep. That's interesting. There are no sheep in this field. I don't suppose there would be with it being a gallops. It would have been nice to see a horse, wouldn't it? Galloping through here. Maybe they rest on Sundays. Right, so there's the little barrow. And then it's disappeared now, that other one, hasn't it? You can't even see it. Wow. But yeah, obviously a sacred, I mean, it is a sacred place. It's almost sacred to me, you know. And I don't even know the people that were living here. We might have had very different beliefs and ideas about the world. I'm sure we probably did. But they lived here and they died here on this green and pleasant land. And right in the distance there now, that's where I've got to get back to. That is the hill fort at Uffington. So I'm not going to bore you anymore with that. I'll just walk back up there and then we'll go down the ridgeway and I will tell you all about the legend of Wayland's Smithy. Right then, that's that little side quest. I think that's what the young people call them these days, isn't it? That's that little side quest down to the bowl barrows down there, done. And now I've got to walk all the way over to that tree line over there and we're going to go and look at a Neolithic chambered burial mound. I can't remember what the actual proper terms, but it's called Wayland's Smithy. So back onto the ridgeway. I'm going to have to charge you up because I've done quite a lot of video, and as I walk back down there you'll be charged up and then I'll see you closer to the monument itself. So the hill fort is up there, that's where I've just come from, and I'm now on my way down to Wayland's Smithy, but I've found this interesting board about the Ridgeway National Trail. Who can use the Ridgeway? So in certain areas it's only, you know, people, but there are road sections of it as well. But yeah, so we are here. Whitehorse, Uffington Castle, Wayland's Smithy. Then it goes all the way down, round Ogbourne, St George, right down to Avebury. Proper sacred place, Avebury. Yeah, but Barbury Castle, I'll have to go and have a look at some of these other ones. Sexbury Castle. I know where the Devil's Punch Bowl is. But yeah, so I'm going to continue down the ridgeway that way. And we'll go and have a look at... Hurry up. Lots of people out using it. And we'll go and have a look at the burial mound at Wayland's Smithy. So I've walked along this little section of the ridgeway and you can see the White Horse Hill just there, and then a couple more 100 metres and we'll get to Wayland Smithy. And it's an amazing place, it really is. If you don't know what a long barrow is, I'm sure most people who watch this kind of thing do, but if you don't know what a long barrow is, the burial chambers. This one, 3600 BC, so very, very old, sort of pyramids old. But yeah, I'll talk more about it when we get there. But yeah, beautiful. Lots of people out as well. And the thing is, when you're walking along somewhere like this, because it's, you know, a well-recognised national footpath, you meet all kinds of people. Just seen a load of lads out on their bikes and just enjoying it, trying not to fall off. Obviously this old couple here walking their dogs, lots of people out with their dogs, and then nutters like me that are stomping between the historical bits. But yeah, why not? It's beautiful. Anyway, I'll talk about it when we get there. So here we are, an atmospheric Neolithic long barrow on the Ridgeway, named after the Saxon smith god Wayland. Now, I'll have to tell you a little bit about the Saxon smith god. He was an impish character, but let's just go and have a look at the actual burial mound itself. Obviously we don't know these people's names. This is 5,500 years ago this was constructed. It was built in two periods. There was an earlier construction and then a much later construction, or a little bit later. So it says there, excavations have shown that the monument you see today covers an earlier barrow. Both tombs served as a focus for ceremonies linking the living and the dead, and may also have marked the community's ownership of the surrounding land. First structure was built here between 3590 and 3555 BC. Was a stone and timber box, which that bit in the centre, I assume, yeah. And over a period of 15 years, the remains of 14 people, including 11 males, 2 females and a child, were placed in the box. Later, the wooden box was covered by an oval mound of chalk and earth, and between 3460 and 3400 BC, a second larger barrow with a stone chambers were constructed over them. By the time the chambers were examined in 1920, they'd been ransacked, but they still contained the jumbled remains of several people. So, here we go. This is it. This is Wayland Smithy. It is an amazing place. Look at this. And people leave their offerings and things, and the National Trust do ask that people don't do that. But I've been up here just at New Year, around the solstice. Look at these little side chambers in there, look. And in there. And on the solstice, the sun almost comes right through the middle of this. Almost. But yeah. Let these people walk around as we go and have a look round the back. Ooh, look at the size of these stones. And you can see that they put these stones all the way along the edge of it as well. And it's very long as well. And again, there wouldn't have been trees here. Or maybe there would. I don't know. But what a place in this landscape. I mean, I've been walking around here today for 2 or 3 hours. And it is stunning. And so, I'm still walking all the way up to the end of it. I need to get my phone out because I want to tell you about Wayland, the Saxon smith god who it's named after. Let me pop the camera down here. Is it going to work? No, I haven't got a thing. Right, where's my phone? So, who was Wayland? So, according to a website that I found called A Bit About Britain, the legend of Wayland. Okay, Let me see. So I'm going to read it out. Right, give me a second. Okay. So, Wayland, as the Anglo-Saxons knew him, was actually a Norse elf. Wolander. A smith of exceptional supernatural skill whose reputation for beautiful weaponry and jewellery was known far and wide. However, the avaricious King Nidulf of Sweden wanted to possess all the fruits of Wolander's labours. He kidnapped the smith, cruelly hamstrung him to stop him from escaping, and demanded that he worked solely for Nidulf in the royal workshops. Wolander pretended to go along with this. Then he tricked the king's 2 sons into his forge, decapitated them, fashioned exquisite gold goblets from their skulls, and stunning jewels from their eyes and teeth. He presented these baubles to the unsuspecting king and queen and their daughter, who were all delighted. Continue reading. As the king was quaffing wine from his beautiful new goblets and sending search parties out to look for his missing sons, his daughter, the Princess Beerhilda, shyly approached Wolander and to mend a beautiful ring her father had given her. Recognising the ring as one he had made for his own lovely wife, the Swan Princess, Wolander became even angrier than he already was. He drugged the poor girl, had his way with her, and flew away on magic wings, taunting Nidulf as he went that the King of Sweden's only male heir was now growing in Beerhilda's womb, and it was his. And this is where Wolander eventually came to rest, on the Berkshire Downs. Wayland's smithy. And there's legends now, even, that say if you bring your horse down here and you need it shod, you leave a coin and you leave your horse, and then in the morning your horse will be shod and your coin will be gone. I mean, look at it. That's absolutely amazing. These things, I mean, this stone here, it's got to be 10 foot tall. Easily 10 foot tall. And absolute monumental things. Look at the size of it. And then the little burial chambers, or the burials were actually found around the side. They were excarnated as well, so they were cut up before burial. But yeah, I'm not going to clamber all over it. It's, yeah, I'll just turn the camera around and I'll shut up. There's other people wanting to enjoy it as well without me sticking my camera in everywhere. Let's just have a quick look in there again. Look at the size of that stone. Look at this. And then you've got these little side chambers either side. In there. This great big stone on top. Wow. And you do see things like this where people are leaving little offerings and things. But like I say, the National Trust do ask that people don't do that because it can get a little bit too much. Anyway, I'm going to let these people enjoy it. And I suppose, there you go. That's Wayland Smithy. An amazing place. I love it here. It's a bit of a trek to get here. But yeah, like an hour and a half's drive and then 2-hour walk. But yeah. Such an amazing place, and the Ridgeway's full of these as well. They're all the way along. You've got West Kennet, East Kennet, and you just imagine this has been here for 5,500 years, and it's a big thing. It's a huge, great big thing. It stands proud on the landscape, and there's so much history. I mean, I do try and read bits and pieces and then try and remember it to put on the videos, but. Yeah, I don't always remember. Anyhow, I'm going to go back to the car. I think that's probably it for this part today. I might see what time it is when I get back to the car. Looking at me non-existent watch again. Might see what time it is when I get back to the car and maybe go and look for something else. There's other things along the Ridgeway that I could go and see. But for now, from Wayland Smithy, from the White Horse, from Uffington Castle, and from those lovely little bow barrows we found as well. From the Berkshire-Oxfordshire border, I'm signing out. I'm Jamie. I've changed the name of my channel, Wandering Womble. Yeah, because if you put Womble in, it just comes up with Wimbledon, or the Wombles, which is fair enough. Anyway, I'm Jamie. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.